This was my first Wizard magazine, issue 64. I remember because it's when I first moved to the suburbs of Chicago, and my cousin actually had this. That was the good old days. That doesn't exist anymore. Wizard magazine as a publication is gone, and sadly there's nothing left to replace it. But really, the quality of Wizard magazine has been gone for a long time. The last time that I really looked forward to an issue of Wizard, it was still in this format, where it had the thick bind. Everything else afterwards was just a printed blog. They didn't matter. With the decline of the magazine also came the decline of WizardWorld. WizardWorld, for those who don't know, is a comic book convention that happens in several cities throughout the country, including right here in Chicago. When I first went to WizardWorld, it was because a comic shop that I was frequenting gave me the opportunity to help them out, move some boxes, and get in the show for free. Absolutely, I was gonna go. I think I didn't even have a job at the time, so I definitely jumped on that chance because I couldn't afford it, right? And I've gone several times since then, and nearly every year. And now I'm 30 years old, I've got a decently paying job. The messed up part is I still can't afford to go to WizardWorld because all the prices have gone up on entry for everyone. How are you going to charge $80 for one day? How does that make it worthwhile for me to come to WizardWorld when I can go and spend $65 for the entire weekend at C2E2? I wasn't even going to go this year. Reason being is last year I was all set to go. Popped up the site and I said I'm going to get these tickets and then I'm going to figure out a way to get the time off because I'm going to WizardWorld. Right? That was my mentality. Tickets were $85 for the weekend, but wait, I had missed that because that was the pre-order. It was $100 at the door. Seriously? How do you justify that? None of the big comic companies are there anymore. No one's there. I understand that. There was some stuff that possibly went down. I don't know the whole story, so I'm not going to go into it, and I'm not going to presume. At the end of the day, all I, as a con goer and presenter on occasion, have to go on is the price. And how are you going to switch from even a few years back when it was $75 to now over $100 for the weekend? That's messed up. And on top of that, what makes it worth me going? Who's there? My favorite artists are not there. They're not able to get the table because after 20 years of inviting them, now they've got to bid for a table and actually pay? After 20 years, 30 years in some cases. You got these artists that made your show. Now you're charging? Well, now what makes it worth to anyone to go? I don't really have a whole lot to say. This is the third time I've recorded this because every time I just go off on tangents and everything gets crazy. But at the end of the day, what's happened at WizardWorld, it's not fun anymore. It's not fun for me as someone who goes to appreciate the artwork and appreciate the people that are there, and I'm sure it's not fun for the people presenting. Because guess what? Now that it costs more money to go, now they have to think about making that money up. Not just having fun, not just, oh, you know, I'm gonna shoot with all my fans. Now my table costs $500. I've got to put out, you know, 50 $10 sketches, 25 $20 sketches. There's no fun anymore. I can't go to the show if it's not fun. I've been going for 8 years. This year, first time ever, I was able to find a shirt that fits me. It was kind of cool. I went for the whole weekend and I'm glad I did. And the whole weekend, all I could think was, I really wish I changed my mind about this. I really wish that something here makes it worthwhile for me to want to come back. And nothing did. Not a single thing. Yeah, I got to watch the Gotham preview. It comes out next week. It wasn't that big a deal. I only got to see one of my favorite artists for about 5 minutes. Yeah, I mean, I met some people, checked out some new art, met a few new artists, but at the end of the day, I didn't see the people who I expected to see there. I was ready to bring my books to get them signed, my cards to get them signed, to spend more money on some really fresh process artwork, which is one of my favorite things to do, but now I gotta wait till April to get more. It's just not fun anymore, man. How can you, after 20 plus years of inviting someone, ask for them to pay? I just don't understand that. So this is it. It's over. Not going to Wizard anymore. I'm not going as a fan, and I'm not going as a presenter. My company is working on a comic book, should be ready next year. Working on an awesome new indie comic product, should also be ready towards the end of next year. And you know what would have been awesome? Just for me personally, because Wizard was the first show I went to, I would have loved to have premiered that at Wizard. But that's not going to happen. because I don't want people to have to pay $80 or more just to come see me. I think it's ridiculous. The price, I can't even use my card. You're asking for cash. That's kind of shady, man. I won't lie. Every time I brought that up to someone, even people not at the show, family, friends, said, oh, they asked for cash. The first thing out of their mouth was, that's kind of shady. I was like, someone's trying to skip on taxes. That's what that sounds like to me. But that's just me guessing. You don't put on a fun show anymore. Last year, the layout was a cluster. Vendors upstairs, the artists were downstairs. Half the people didn't know the other half was there. The year before, you had all the signatures and all the entertainment people in the middle blocking off Artist Alley. Artist Alley's the only reason I go to these things. If you're gonna kick out the artists, replace them with, what do we have this year? Some beads and some jewelry. You do know Rosemont holds a whole other convention for that, right? There's a whole different jewelry and beads and all that stuff convention. Put some money in that. Took away, what, 6 tables that we could have had artists at? It's over. I wouldn't go if you called me and said, we want to give you a table. We want to give you a booth. We want you to headline. Nah, because I don't want people having to pay $80 to come see that. I'd rather put my own money in and go to C2E2. Not only do I know I'm going to see more people, I know that those people are getting in easier. They're having more money to spend. Let's not even talk about the fun aspect. It's just good business. If you say tickets are $65 for the weekend, more people are gonna go. That's just math. So yeah, it's over. It's Facebook official. I'm unliking your page. I'm not promoting WizardWorld anymore. I'm not saying anything about Wizard. I'm gonna finish my collection of my classic issues, and I'm gonna read those and remember the good old days. Because now it's just another pop culture con. And that's fine. If you want to be a pop culture con, call it that. Don't say you're a comic book convention and then have 30% comics.